Good day, everyone. Today we'll explore differentiated instruction, its principles, strategies, and benefits. In the latter part of my presentation, I'll share a sample lesson plan that highlights differentiation in content, process, and product. Differentiated instruction as a teaching approach that tailors learning experiences to meet the diverse needs of students. No? Differentiated instruction is very essential because it allows us to maximize each student's potential by addressing their unique learning styles, interests, and readiness levels. Differentiated instruction is built on key principles. Now, first is it is student centered, meaning it focuses on the individual needs of learners. Second, it uses flexible grouping, meaning students work in various groupings, sometimes in whole class settings, other times in small groups or individually. And also, flexible grouping can be by preference, counting off, randomly assigned students alphabetically, or it could be by row, no, by column, so that at the end of the academic year, students have the chance to work with their classmates, no, not just on a certain group of students. Third, it involves ongoing assessment, allowing us teachers to monitor student progress and adjust our teaching methods. When we say ongoing assessment, that refers to um, quizzes, that refers to activities now that are graded at the end of every lesson. Then we have varied teaching methods. That is to ensure that all students are engaged through multiple learning strategies. We do not just stick to one activity such as a written quiz or just merely lecture. Now let's talk about how we can implement differentiated instruction. Now there are four main strategies. First is content differentiation. So we can provide different resources such as text, at varying um, readiness levels of our students. That could be multimedia options, to cater different learning preferences, or it could be audio resources or just merely text. No? Then we have process differentiation. This involves adapting classroom activities such as allowing students to work collaboratively, independently, or with guided instruction. Then third, we have product differentiation. Now, students can demonstrate their learning in various ways, like writing an essay, creating a presentation, or developing a project. Then, fourth, we have learning environment. That is to establish a supportive and flexible classroom setup that can enhance better engagement and inclusivity. When we say content differentiation class, it is how we deliver the content, the topics, or the subject matter. So, for example, um, there is that one topic of your specialization. You do not just have one lecture discussion for all, meaning we can deliver it in different manners so long as you are able to cover the same competency. Then when we say process, that refers to activities that are provided after input discussion, meaning it's more on drills trying to um, measure whether our students are able to understand or appreciate or internalize what has been tackled during input discussion. Then, when we say product differentiation, that refers to assessment or performance tasks. This time, it's also activities, but it's already graded, meaning there are corresponding points or grades that students can earn based on the demonstration of their learning of the subject matter. Then we have this question, why should we adopt differentiated instruction? First, because it effectively addresses diverse learning needs, ensuring that no student is left behind. It also increases student engagement and motivation. They are not just passive learners. They do not just sit and listen, but they will be engaged in different activities. No? They become more relevant to their interests and abilities. And also, research shows that differentiated instruction enhances academic growth and achievement. And also, it provides much needed support for both struggling students and gifted learners, making our classrooms more inclusive. Now, um, with its benefits, it also has somehow a challenge on the part of the teachers because it requires much of our energy to facilitate different activities, as well as it requires our creativity and being resourceful, how to design our activities and lessons that are fitting and more appropriate to the kind of learners or profile of our learners, as well as their um, learning needs. To successfully implement differentiated instruction, no, we need to start small. We do not have the um, really big steps, no, to a point that we cannot um, start. Therefore, we need to incorporate differentiation gradually. When we say gradually in our vernacular, hinay-hinay, it needs not to be perfect. So long as there is an effort or initiative to somehow differentiate our activities, no? Not just activities or even in the product, no, and in the content. We need to know our students, meaning we should know the profile of our students by using as assessments and observations not to understand their needs. And also we need to leverage technology to personalize learning experiences. That is to maximize now whatever digital resources that we have. And also we need to reflect and adjust now our strategies based on students' progress and feedback. We do not just pursue or proceed, to the next topic, even knowing that other students are still struggling with the topic. So therefore, it's very important that we need to create an effective learning environment, which is a very powerful tool, to somehow um, help our students, embrace change and also provide them the opportunity to succeed. Then I will be presenting a sample lesson plan that reflects differentiated instruction. So, since I am a values education teacher, I chose one topic in edukasyon sa pagpapakatao grade 7 in the first grading period. The topic is pagdadalaga at pagbibinata. So, since ESP is using Tagalog, as a medium of instruction, my lesson plan as well reflect such a language. So, after identifying the topic, you need to create a learning objective. When we say objective, it should be SMART. When we say SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bounded. Take note, we need to deliver the topic in 40 minutes to 1 hour only. So we need to make our topic brief and also ensure that we provide enough activities in order for our students to appreciate the topic, to understand it well. So in my topic, pagdadalaga at pagbibinata, there are so many components of it. No, it has a physical component, emotional, social, components, and psychological. But since I have a very limited time, I need to design my lesson that's good for 40 minutes to 1 hour. So in this case, I choose pagdadalaga at pagbibinata, focusing on the physical changes. That's why, as you can see in my objective here, it only focused on mga pagbabagong physical. No, I did not include the emotional, social, and psychological components because if I will do so, If I will include all the components, I don't have enough time for the activities and for the assessment. So for the knowledge, it's more on targeting competencies that enhance our students' capacity to think, that is to analyze, to evaluate, no, to synthesize. So in here, knowledge, no, mailalarawan, meaning describe, to describe the physical changes that will occur, no, during adolescence, na pagdadalaga at pagbibinata. For the skills, if knowledge is more on cognitive or the mind, skills is how the learners demonstrate or perform what they understand cognitively. So in here, it's more on performance. Na? Performance, matukoy ang mga positibong paraan ng pagharap sa mga pagbabagong ito. Okay? By the way, class, I need to revise na the skills because identify or matutukoy, it's more on knowledge or cognitive. It should be more on performance. So in here, na for my correction, it should be maipapakita. Maipapakita is show or demonstrate. That is something behavioral. When we say behavioral, actions, because skill should be actions. It could be showing, presenting, solving, designing, um, creating. So in here, take note, matutukoy is identify, that is not a skill. It should be under knowledge because it's more on cognitive. So I will replace, I will replace my objective under skill, maipapakita, no, ang mga positibong paraan ng pagharap sa mga pagbabagong pisikal sa panahon ng pagdadalaga at pagbibinata. Because my second objective is not smart, no? It's very broad. I should specify it, no? Anong pagbabago if I will just say ito? So it's maipapakita ang mga positibong paraan ng pagharap sa mga pagbabagong pisikal sa panahon ng pagdadalaga at pagbibinata. Then we have attitudes. It's more on affective, no? If knowledge is cognitive or mind, skills is more on muscles, more on our bodily movements, performance. For the attitudes, it's more on our affective, no, the heart. So mahikayat is encourage, no? Encourage the importance of self, no, on the proper understanding, no, proper understanding of the journey, no, of going of transitioning to adolescence. That's in English, no, encouraging students. Mahikayat is encourage, or it could be instill, no, instill the importance, no, to oneself on the right understanding as to the journey of transitioning to adolescence. Na, that's mahikayat, ang pagpapahalaga sa sarili. So the key word here is pagpapahalaga sa sarili, no? Putting importance to oneself. Then we have here resources needed. So as a teacher, you should identify what are the materials that you need to deliver the lesson, as you have designed. Then we have here first component of our lesson plan. After making sure that the three objectives that we identify is doable in 40 minutes to 1 hour. So therefore, we make sure our objectives are simple, doable in a specific period of time. And also, it is measurable. When we say measurable, it's not broad. It should be very specific. Preparation. First, you have the classroom routine. Classroom routine is what we do every day. Pagbati at maikling kamustahan. Like for example, good afternoon class, how are you today? Then, pagsusuri ng nasa klase, meaning checking of attendance. Then you start with your introductory activity. Introductory activity is an activity that will serve as a springboard to your lesson. When we say springboard, it's not just an activity that is interesting and engaging, but it should also be related to your topic. So since my topic is all about pagdadalaga at pagbibinata, my introductory activity is na I will be presenting pictures. These pictures are pictures of actors and actresses when they were younger. So for example, no, when I demonstrate the lesson, magandang hapon mga mag-aaral. Ako ngayon ay magpapakita ng mga larawan ng mga aktor at aktres. Gusto kong tukuyin ninyo kung sino-sino ang mga ito. Then you present the pictures individually. Na? By the way, I am supposed to paste the photos of the actors and actresses that I will be presenting. So I will be editing no, the sample that I uploaded so that if the principal will check our lesson plan, they have an idea. The principal has an idea what photos he will be presenting. So I will be editing my format later. Same goes when you also do yours. No, whenever you present photos, you make a sample of the photos no as part of your lesson plan to ensure a comprehensive presentation. So I should have um, posted there no photos of the actors and actresses when they were younger. Okay, so of course students now will answer trying to identify who are those actors and actresses being presented. Now, no, as a teacher, magpapakita ka na naman ng larawan ng mga teenager na artista. So, these are the same actors and actresses that I will be presenting but this time when they are grown up already. So, for example, na very good, mga mag-aaral, kayo ay nakakuha ng mga tamang sagot. Natutukoy nyo kung sino-sino ang mga aktor at aktres na aking pinapakita nung sila ay bata pa. Ngayon, magpapakita naman ako ng mga larawan noong sila ay nagiging teenager na. So, ididikit ko nung sila ay bata pa at nung sila ay teenager na ngayon. Ngayon gusto kong pansinin ninyo ang mga pisikal na mga pagbabago na nagaganap na sa kanilang katawan. You are given 1 minute for the observation. Nabibigyan ko kayo ng 1 minuto sa pagtutukoy ng mga pagbabagong pisikal. Okay, so that you will be asking volunteers. Then, after their answers, you can now proceed with your presentation. For the presentation class, it is where the content differentiation. No? Content differentiation is how we present the subject matter itself. So first, I have here, nagpapakita ng PowerPoint presentation tungkol sa mga physical na pagbabago sa katawan. So if I will have it demonstrated in the class, base sa inyong mga kasagutan kanina, no? Natutukoy ninyo na lumalaki yung dibdib, nagkakaroon ng um, malapad na um, balikat yung mga lalaki, nagkakaroon sila ng Adam's apple. Ngayon, titingnan natin ng detalye kung ano-ano ang mga physical na mga pagbabagong ito. So you will be presenting your PowerPoint. But since this is a lesson plan, first, I will be presenting here PowerPoint presentation tungkol sa physical na pagbabago. So I am here presenting briefly what's the content of my input discussion. Take note, this is an interactive lecture because after presenting briefly the content, no, there is pagtatalakay at diskusyon, meaning these are guide questions. So, guide questions, ano ang mga physical na pagbabagong napansin mo sa iyong sarili? You are now trying to let the students relate the topic based on their personal experience. Paano natin dapat alagaan ang ating katawan sa panahon ng pagbabagong ito? Okay? Then, second is, you take note, pagpapakita ng PowerPoint presentation, you are catering visual learners and auditory learners because while you are presenting a visual aid, you are also explaining it. So therefore, those auditory learners may learn by just merely listening to you, while the visual learners, they are looking at your PowerPoint presentation while you are discussing. Now, second manner of presenting the topic, you will be showing a short video clip na magpapakita ng maikling video clip tungkol sa pagbabagong dulot ng pagdadalaga at pagbibinata. Okay? So, I will be briefly presenting a video clip. After that, I will not just proceed with an activity. I will first process what they learn from the video clip that they watched. So I will have another guide questions. No, ano ang nararamdaman mo nang maranasan ang mga pisikal na pagbabago? Paano nakaapekto ang pagbabagong ito sa inyong pakikitungo sa inyong pamilya at mga kaibigan? Okay. Practice. Practice, it is where process differentiation. When we say process differentiation, activities. Content is what students will learn. Process is how students will learn. So that is how we give activities as a drill to ensure that they understand before we'll proceed with the product or the assessment part. So practice portion, these are activities that are not yet graded because it is still a drill. So in this case na I have here, hahatiin ang klase sa apat na pangkat. Bawat isa ay magbibilang, that is counting off, upang matukoy ang kanilang grupo. Take note that in differentiated instruction, we have flexible grouping. So in my practice component, it is a random manner of grouping because it's counting off. They don't have any choice. Papipiliin ang bawat pangkat ng isang gawain upang maipahayag ang kanilang kaalaman tungkol sa pagdadalaga at pagbibinata. So, there are two activities. The group will just have to choose only one activity. It could be, gamit ang galaw ng katawan or body gestures, ilarawan ng iba't ibang pisikal na pagbabagong nagaganap sa pagdadalaga at pagbibinata. Second option, sumulat ng isang tula na nagpapakita ng pagpapahalaga sa iba't ibang pisikal na pagbabago, nagpababagong naganap sa yugto ng pagdadalaga at pagbibinata na naglalaman ng positibong pananaw at pag-unawa sa prosesong ito. Take note, you have two activities. Students or the groups have the chance to choose, pero even though they have different activities, the same theme, pagdadalaga at pagbibinata. Then after giving students time to present, you have your guide question. You process their experience. You do not just say very good. You should wrap up what they perform. Ano ang natutunan mo mula sa pinakitang gawain ng ibang pangkat? At paano mo ito magagamit sa iyong sariling paglalakbay sa pagdadalaga o pagbibinata? You may ask volunteers for this to answer during demonstration. Now, we go to the performance component. When we say performance component, that is a graded activity. This is what we call product differentiation. Take note, for my performance or assessment activity, there are two manner of activity. The students have the chance to choose whether to engage in group activity or individual activity. For the individual activity, I will be presenting later. If students will choose group activities, there are two options. Take note here, for the assessment, kung kanina sa practice component, they are counting off, this time they will group themselves by preference. Meaning, sila ang pipili kung kanino sila mas gustong magtrabaho. Okay? For the first option, poster making. Ipapagawa sila ng poster na may temang before and after. Take note, bumuo ng pangkat 6 members in a group by preference. And I have presented here the rubric for assessment. Ano ang batayan sa kanilang pagtataya? Second option, role play. The same group activity but this time 10 members in a group, na hindi lalagpas ng 10 minuto ang presentasyon. So, rubric, again, for that role play. For the individual output, for those who want to work individually, Essay writing, maikling sanaysay. Okay, another rubric for that activity. So we are catering here linguistics, kinesthetic, role play, and also no um, creativity. And also we have here, yeah, poster making. That's all about no um, pagiging malikhain. So if the student will choose no to be working by himself or herself, because other students cannot effectively work with others, but it doesn't mean that they will be all throughout the academic year they will be working individually. But for this session, they have the chance to choose whether to engage in group activity or individual activity. So if in case the student will choose individual activity, that is essay writing, maikling sanaysay, of course, the same theme, physical na pagbabago sa pagdadalaga at pagbibinata with this rubric, no, criteria for assessment. Then let's for the enhancement, no, lesson enhancement. Take note. Assignment can be provided which is related to the topic discussed or tackled for that day, or it could be in preparation for the next topic. In this case, my lesson is just very simple and understandable. No, it's very relatable with our personal experiences. So I think there is no need for me to further their understanding by giving assignments. So if you notice, my assignment here is in preparation for the next topic. This time, another components on the changes of pagdadalaga at pagbibinata. No? It's on emotional at psychological changes. So in here, for the assignment, no? Um, I will be editing this one. There should be introductory statement, no? Papipiliin ang mga mag-aaral kung anong gawain sila mas komportabling gawin. So option 1, whether they are to read an article pertaining to emotional and psychological changes during pagdadalaga at pagbibinata, or they can choose to watch a video clip no on YouTube no showing the emotional and psychological changes. So this will serve no as a prior knowledge to the next topic no which will cover the same no emotional and psychological changes sa pagdadalaga at pagbibinata. After that, you are to indicate your references. So that's it. Now again, take note of the corrections. I will be posting the revised sample lesson plan so that you will be guided. I will be uploading as well in our Google Classroom the Word format so that you can just edit there. Thank you, everyone.